This is my friend Mick, and he's here to talk about 10KTF and give you a little bit of history on the project and also kind of explain the stockroom and various other items. Go for it.
So I may mess up. I'll try to hit it chronologically from where I got involved, but 10KTF is like a story-driven project, I guess, where they have all these events. So they mostly do it off of Twitter. Their Discord's pretty active, but it all started, and Beeple's confirmed to be into it too, part of the company. So they started out where you could, if you had a parent NFT, you could mint one of these Genesis pieces. And I think they were, yeah, these are Genesis pieces. So if you had one of these parent companies, so you got WoW Galaxy, WoW Wolf Game, Gucci Penguins, any of these, you could mint it onto one of these. I forgot exactly how they let you do it, but and now that original collection is there's 14,000 of them is part of their Genesis, like the first thing that they did. So these are the parent companies. After that, I believe they airdropped materials to people. I think it was randomly. It might have been by rarity, but people were just randomly getting some of these. I remember D Train, I think, got scissors. I think I got cloth, but it was like free money. It was pretty cool.
So wait, what
And
did
then
you have to
they
hold to get the airdrop?
had to hold one of their Genesis pieces. I made a bunch of them. Um, I can't recall exactly what the function was on how you were able to mint one of these, but if you had a parent and you're on a whitelist or something, you could mint your PFP onto like a backpack or sneakers. Might have been one other thing too.
And so do they only support like specific projects? Because I see they have this, is it ON1 Forest? And then they have the Pudgy Penguins, the Cool Cats, the Mutant Apes, and the Bored Apes. But I don't see a whole lot of other.
Well, some of these are really cheap though. Like ON1, I'm not sure where their floor is right now, but it's probably like point 0.1. So it allows you to get in at a cheap price. They have added things like they did add later the Moonbirds, and I don't even know what Forgotten Souls is, but they do add things here and there. And some of the price points to get in on these is still pretty reasonable if you wanted to craft something, which came later. You so they airdropped these guys, and then they did it all through story on Twitter. It's Mr. Wagami and his friend Wen and big bad guys Boss Toad, and they have these adventures. That'll probably make a it's like a comic kind of where there's a story going on and it relates to something in the NFT project. It's kind of all over the place, but Wagami like has a little shop, and I guess he crafts items. And Boss Toad, the mafia guy, was after him, and all these shenanigans that are tied into the NFT project. So it's pretty cool that story driven. So after you got these materials, you could craft newer items. There was like you could make socks and hats and a couple different things. So it made this collection a lot bigger. But the Genesis collection is still part of that collection. So you can
So were the Genesis items like were they also crafted and they're just called Genesis because of the
they were
time when they were
crafted, but
made?
I don't think they weren't crafted from materials.
Ah, okay.
So we crafted them, but it wasn't via Materials, I believe.
Okay.
Then they gave you materials and you could start making things like socks and stuff from their website. You still can, I believe. They open it and they close it and they kind of control the supply. So, like every now and then it'll be like, oh, you can't make any more socks because we have a lot of socks.
That's
So they're
funny.
kind of controlling the supply, but there's not. So, well, I guess there kind of is.
Too many
So,
socks.
yeah, they do like stop things every now and then.
That's funny.
So, I mean, but some of these PFPs you can get pretty cheap. So, just to be in the ecosystem is like point. This is kind of will get you in the ecosystem and you could play along.
So
Um,
you have a pair of socks. Does it let you play a game, or what does it let you
yeah,
do?
kinda. It's not. Um, it would be like you could submit it. You could submit like this will be a certain amount of points. That kind of came later. Like right after they let you craft these, though, they did a collaboration with Gucci. And I
Uh,
remember I actually minted one of these crystal balls. I got it through like 10KTF, referred you to Gucci's Discord, and then you put your name in a hat, and like your hat was lucky enough to get picked. You could buy one of these for like 2 ETH. I can't believe they're point two. Oh well, actually it makes sense. So you could buy these for like an ETH or two. They were pretty expensive.
yeah.
Um, and then you could craft your PFP that was on the list to a Gucci product. And
Interesting.
once they closed it, this Mint Pass, you can no longer use it. That's why it's so cheap because they
Okay.
closed the site. So it's just a collector's item now.
Uh,
How many of them are there?
So they do have a okay. So one thing with the G tags that people are saying on Twitter now is that they will close down the recycling of maybe the Genesis items, and you won't be able to get G tags from them eventually. Is that
Yeah.
in
It's a
line with?
play.
Okay, it seems like that sounds like that's in line with how this project has worked
Yeah.
historically.
Yeah, you got to think about that though for a little bit. Do you want to keep the Genesis piece because it's now rarer because a bunch of them had been burned? But that came later. We could talk
Okay,
about that when the G tag I guess comes up. But
sorry, I
that
jumped
there's a
in.
whole play. No, not at all. But there's a whole play. Like, do you want the Genesis piece or do you want the G tag and the blank?
I see.
I don't know.
Hang on 1 second.
So I won't get like too much into the stories, but every Thursday they'll release like some 4 tweets with little stories. Sometimes it'll be a video like that. It's kind of cool. They're getting better with it. If they made a movie, it would be a really dumb movie. But like, there's maybe in a couple of years they'll be able to edit it down and actually have a really cool story.
That's funny.
Want to knock their story too much because it's a fun project though. So
Yes.
they did the Gucci drop that you could turn your PFP into, where you can mint one of these and then redeem it for one of these. Um, their floor's gone down quite a bit. This was like 2 ETH when I sold mine.
So the Gucci Grail pieces, like,
Um,
does that give you an entrance into the like? There is an actual game aspect in this project, right? I forget,
kind of.
or a quest
Um,
online or something.
if you really just want to be in the project, I would suggest just getting these socks right here. And then you're in. It's probably the cheapest price point that's gonna get you in there. But you'll miss out on a couple things. But you'll be like they'll get you membership.
I
Just a
see.
regular piece from the 10KTF. Um, but after this, they released BattleTown, which was their game. Can't connect. I don't have MetaMask on Microsoft.
That's okay.
So you go to BattleTown, and then you get different points
And was
for
it
different items that you had. So you
BattleTown?
put together,
Is it
yeah,
Battle.town? Is that the website?
yep,
Okay.
Battle.town. So you'd go there, and like every week or two, they would do a little game where it was called a loadout, where you'd be able to submit your NFTs that you own from 10KTF, and it would want to like outfit you, so you'd have something on your feet, something on a shirt, something on your head, and you get different points for different rarities of these items. So you could have you try to put together like a whole outfit, and then you'd go fight Boss Toad, and then after it was done, after a couple days, you get like points, and then you accrue the points, and hmm, forgot what exactly they did with the points, but it had something to do with getting the combat crate, I believe, which was the next thing where they wanted to give you. Um, well, they released the combat crate and nobody knew what was in it.
Yeah.
And then when you opened it, it was these items, which you could make as part of your loadout. And the point values on these were like crazy higher than any of the point values on the uh, oh, on the socks and the shirts and the hats. These were like crazy multipliers all the way up to the flamethrower multiplier was nuts. So then you could start loading out even more points, and they stopped doing that. It'll probably come back, but
So,
once, yeah, one of these was in the combat crate, and then if you had a parent NFT, you could
so are
uh,
these blanks?
craft it. Those are blanks that are in the. So there's like two major shops. There's the 10KTF shop, and then there's the. Hold on. Oh, the combat stuff is. Where is it? Hmm.
It's a lot of tabs.
Yeah, I lost that tab.
Which one are you looking for?
The
Actually, I
combat
won't be able
gear.
to tell you where it is
There it
because that's
is.
a lot of tabs.
Surprisingly, the combat gear isn't in the same collection as the 10KTF gear because you could load it out together. So you could use like a pair of these socks with like the combat helmet.
Can you scroll up so I can see which collection this is?
Yeah,
Um,
this one's the combat gear.
so this is the 10 KTF combat gear, but it doesn't have a verified check mark next to it.
Ooh, interesting.
So,
Well, that's OpenSea.
I know.
Broken Sea.
Yeah. So
Meanwhile, like
that's
10
good to
scam
know for
projects
people
have checks.
to be aware of that this is an actual legitimate part of the project, but it's not designated. I think the blanks are probably the same thing, right? Like if you go to the loot crate, what is the crate collection there?
Yeah,
So
that
it's the
one's
10
not either.
KTF combat crates.
Shame on OpenSea.
Oh, and this is 10K friends. Okay, so interestingly enough, and I don't know if you're going to talk about the Kagami tokens or the Kagami, I don't know how you say it. I think that's also in the 10K friends creator group. So I totally changed topics. I apologize. Going back to the
No.
combat gear.
I don't even know if I've seen. So yeah. Hmm.
There's your day pack and your high tops.
Yeah, these were part. Oh, that was for the. See, Kagami, I didn't really get into the Kagami. I forgot what the mint process was for that.
I don't know, but they're really
Looks like
high value.
this is a physical item, though. I believe if you own this, you could then redeem it. Because people are having these shipped to them.
I see.
And I'm not sure if they're having them shipped with their PFP kind of on them because they look like a mirror.
Ah.
Let's see.
Did this project launch in 2021?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like September, August, I believe. That's not what I was looking for, but yeah, it seemed like pretty good value. There has to be some kind of burn with it where you could redeem it for a physical. I thought they said that they were shipping the physicals like now.
I see.
People should be receiving them in a week or two. Um, so that was Kagami. And then the G tag, which you just got,
Yes,
they
I
dropped
did.
for Genesis holders, right?
Yeah.
So if you held a 10 KTF Genesis piece, which was these, now is there a burn? So you burn, like if you had this one,
Yeah.
this is a Genesis piece from the 10 KTF.
Yep.
You then burn it and you get a blank of it and
Yes.
a G tag.
Yep. You go to the 10ktf.com website and you do the recycler. You have to pay 10 ape and gas fees, and then it turns out a blank and a day pack, or if you did a Genesis high top, it would be a blank of the high tops and the G tag. So
I had a I had a Genesis Wow backpack. I sold it.
I know you
I like
told me to
selling
buy it
things.
like when it was half this price. So I'm slow.
I sold my day pack, I think like 1.35. So but
That's a
that was
pretty good. That's a
months
pretty good
ago.
deal. I mean, I don't know what they are right now. They're probably they're a little lower than
Now
they
it's
were
not,
the other day,
they're
but
a little bit. They've held pretty good though.
yeah. And I mean,
It's held the floor pretty good.
I looked at some of the day packs. Like they actually sold in terms of the G tags. They were half price for a while. The day packs, some of them sold for the same price they're selling for now a year ago. So, like you said,
Yeah.
they are kind of holding their value for whatever
Yeah, I
reason.
just don't know what the play is because now you're burning them. I don't know what. I guess it would be the amount of G tags, which is 10,000. So they burned 10,000 Genesis were burned.
I
There
guess
were
so.
24. That's
Well,
pretty interesting. So now
no,
this is
not
cut in half.
necessarily because the common is only a 1-to-1 ratio for the burn, but the like if you scroll down and see
Oh,
like the
gotcha.
rare and
If
the epic, I think one of them gives you 3 and one gives you
Gotcha,
2,
gotcha.
or the
Makes
uncommon,
sense.
sorry, the uncommon and the rare. I don't actually know what the numbers are for those more rare
Yep,
items, but it is
that definitely makes sense because I'd be mad if I was burning an epic.
yeah.
But if you're getting three G tags, pretty good deal. So
They
if you
get
had,
one G tag for a 3 ETH item.
so what's a? Oh,
Okay, so you
that's
can
not right.
wear these items into your BATTLE.TOWN battle and get points. It sounds like um with the combat gear, is that the same thing? Like you wear that into BattleTown and you combat?
That's what they were doing. They haven't done it in quite a few months. So
Is it like
I
when?
guess
Oh, go ahead.
I guess they're gonna do it again. And continue the storyline. I just
Okay.
don't. Who knows? I would assume so because they just put so much supply. Like this, the drawback, I guess, about this project would be the amount of supply in everything. I mean, 13,000 plus 13. That was 13,000, right?
Yeah, that's 13,320. No, that's 13,000 ETH.
That's
Sorry.
ETH, yeah.
How many items are there? I don't know. Oh,
14.
15,800. It's up in the upper left under Wagging
Gotcha.
Song.
So we got 15,000 there, and then you got, there's a lot more in 23 because there's multiples of these.
Yeah.
Between those and and the combat and the blanks and the Gucci's and the G tags and everything. The supply is massive on the project, so
Yeah. So it's
I'm
interesting.
not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with the G tag though. Have you been looking?
So
Because I've
I
been kind of out of
saw,
the.
if you go to the Twitter announcement from last Thursday, the thing that I sort of saw was the letter about, if you scroll down,
This one,
no, I can't read that. That one.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they got a new character in there, Wagami and Wen and Boss Toad. Now it's the new Tokyo Electric. Seizes stolen goods, repurposing items to community. That had something to do with the G tag and
So,
the
well, if
blank,
you
didn't it?
actually go back to that real quick. So at the bottom it says um, eligible new Tokyo local media members. So those tags look kind of like media badges to me for sponsorship, facilitating the reunification of items with responsible community members via on air giveaways. So that sounds like maybe airdrops. I don't know. So, like, if I were to think, then I would think maybe those G tags are giving you an airdrop eventually. But I know that's not exactly what the speculation is about the G tag that's making them run up. It is that somehow the G tag is going to actually be a PFP for the project.
That's one thing that the project is everybody's always asked. How come there's no PFP?
Yeah.
That would be a big one.
So,
That would
like,
be. I wonder what they would be though.
I don't
If there
know.
were if there are PFPs, they're not going to
Well,
be monkey and
what's
because they
this?
already have their own characters.
What's this type of artwork called?
I don't know, some kind of
It's
anime
like an
type.
anime. Okay.
Not sure.
So let's say in this sort of anime-ish type environment, maybe it'd be something like the Azuki or the Valhalla PFPs. I don't know, more like a
Wild,
person.
ill,
But
ill moon,
oh,
ill moon. If they do like all these characters, like Neo Tokyo characters or something like
yeah.
cyberpunks and or or cyber brokers. It's a fun project, and it would be interesting to see what artwork like if people did any of it. That'd be
So like in terms of speculation, I think what's interesting is you have all this combat gear. You saw a
yep.
video of Sam driving like a dune buggy or something. Is that what it's called? The ATV thing out in the
Yeah,
desert?
that's what I thought it was originally. They were going to be not mechas before the Bored Ape and the mecha and the Dookie Dash came out. There was this guy on his dune buggy, and we all thought we were getting dune buggies with the G tags.
I mean, it's still a
That was the
possibility,
original
but
thought. Yeah,
yeah, there he is. So, and I know the
yeah.
other
That
speculation with that is that he's like driving into the other side or something, but I don't know about that.
that would be fun too. Yeah, my original thought on the G tag was that I think I copied somebody else's thought, but it was going to be like one of these that you could drive in the other side. But now with the new electric company, it doesn't quite look like that anymore, does it?
Um, like all I can say is that to me, it sounds like you're gonna get an airdrop, possibly. I don't know if it's everybody that has a G tag or just some people based on that letter. Like that would be kind of how I would interpret it, but I don't know. I'm very new to this project. I just FOMOed in, obviously.
I don't think anybody knows, which is kind of the fun part about the
Yeah.
project is, we're sitting on this Gucci cloth. We don't know what it's for, other than it's physical.
I mean, they definitely
It's going to
like
be a physical item.
I think the cool thing about this project is it definitely has sort of like a whole its whole universe, right? It has its
Yeah,
whole like
definitely.
ecosystem going, and that's a little bit more built out than most NFT projects that you get into, that they might have a roadmap of where they're going into the future, but they don't really have a whole lot going on yet. Um, so
And then it's linked to all these other projects, you know, and it's not a PFP really, other than the one PFP that they do have is the Gucci Grails, right?
So I think they need a PFP. Like I don't understand an NFT project that doesn't have one, because let's say that you are a brand, unless everybody goes around with like 10 KTF on their PFP, it would be really hard to actually know what project those
They
NFTs are
figure you're
from.
going to use these are your PFPs. Like you're going to collect our stuff
Yeah, but
and
even then,
dress.
like, I don't know. I guess you're sort of advertising for their project by using those items elsewhere. I
Yeah, I
just,
mean, we don't even know. Like, are you going to be able to wear these day packs in the metaverse? If the metaverse becomes a thing,
they're actually
will
kind of cool.
anybody care? Assume that's going to be for Otherside, right? Our hope
Maybe.
is Otherside makes Sandbox and Decentraland look silly, and everybody plays it. But they gotta, like I said, they gotta make the price point like $50 to get in.
Yeah, it's tough. I know a lot of people are priced out of these projects and these. Um,
Especially if you're going to make a metaverse like the other side where you want it always to be crowded and people building in it because there's so many people there.
I guess what you could have is you could have like a free version or some type of low cost version where you don't have your items, you don't own your items. Like, and
Just
I
like a
hate to say
wanderer
it,
where you don't have land.
it's more like a pay to play or something versus like you're actually owning your
If they can,
gear.
or if they can make it so your land is harvesting materials that other people want, you know,
Yeah.
or you could craft things with the materials on your land, that resources on your land, you could craft things that other people want. So maybe the whole area it's open for everybody to play, but people aren't earning or with resources on their land. They're just either paying doing free to play, or if they want any kind of upgrade in it, they have to use the resources.
Yeah. So
So like
that's
if you want a dune buggy, maybe you need like to craft it with a bunch of different items like an axe and, you know, some kind of ore and
I
something
see.
else, and you put them all in a hole
So it's basically like
on
Minecraft,
in game.
but in the other side.
Yeah. Yep. I mean that's what the resources should be for,
Yeah,
right?
no, I get it. I can't
But
remember if
I
the
think the
land
key
has
is
resources or not, but I did hear that actually like lands with resources were popping off the other day. They were pumping.
yeah, I bought one with an artifact and like two resources. And the artifacts
That's good.
have been slowly going up. Very, very slowly. Like every week it goes up. There's definitely money to be made in crypto. In NFTs, that's a little trickier, especially because we need more and more people coming to the space to support not only the existing projects that are still hanging on or existing blue chips, but new stuff as well, you know?
Yeah, no, NFTs are hard. And I always say when I'm talking about projects, like, the risk NFTs are a very high risk investment. I don't give financial advice, and the risk in NFTs is that they can all go to zero. Hopefully not.
Oh, and it will.
Knock on wood. But
Most of the time it does.
yeah,
You could be on a whitelist following a project for a year,
yeah.
all that, like completely ready, one of the few people that can mint the thing, and still lose your
Yeah,
shirt.
it's tough. It's tough. And, you have to watch how much exposure you have to different things like that because it's, again, very high risk.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting proposition. I think, and I always say this about the NFT projects, like the founders start out and they're really ambitious and
then they get all that money and they don't realize that has to last them like 2 years of
That's
keeping
part
the
of it.
floor up with that.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's the
part of it.
trickiest part.
But I think the other part of it is just that technology is not where they need it to be yet. Like, it's great that they have these ambitions and they want to do these games, but okay, building a game is actually a complicated proposition. It's not easy, it's not fast. And then you're trying to
At
like
all.
put in different aspects that haven't been done before because you're doing this stuff with Web3 or whatever. It just
Yep.
so
It's still in its infancy, but I mean,
yeah,
there was so many projects in 2021 that were like, we're gonna make this game.
yeah.
And some of them are still hanging on,
No,
but still have no game.
I think that if they can hold out, they might be able to do it. But like you said,
Nah, I
the
think they
money has
blew
to
all their.
last a long time, and then the floor prices go down,
Yeah.
and people's sentiment gets really negative, and so
And
it's
then they're
tough.
like, why are we bothering when our floor is 0.008?
Yeah.
And
So I don't know. You gotta
we
pick
can't
your
afford to
poison.
finish this game, but we need more ETH because
Yep.
we had all these parties, paid all these promoters,
Yeah,
and they took all our ETH,
that's a problem. So yeah, they have
and
to.
we swept all the floors. Yeah, there's so many issues with it.
It's yeah,
That's why, like, I mean, you gotta you gotta kind of go high risk on stuff, but low. Don't spend a lot of money on it. So if it's like a point oh eight ETH mint, you could take a chance every now and then on it, but you got to be careful with unless you got to be careful spending a lot on something that's not established because you're better off just throwing, zero point 0.3 ETH into a 10 KTF or
yeah.
one of their parents or something that's at least established.
Hi guys, so just to wrap up, the actual majority of this video was recorded about 2 weeks ago, and it is now February 15th. Um, we did get this message on the 9th that's showing up on the Twitter feed, and it basically says that an area in New Tokyo is closed for restoration, and they're bringing the light back to New Tokyo, so we'll see what that means. Tomorrow, I think they're actually supposed to have an event out in LA. And there was this one other message that I wanted to pull up real quick from the 10KTF Discord. So they did say, give me 1 second. Greetings, New Tokyo Electric Company is pleased to present this Thursday's regular programming at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. The DAM show will be broadcasting live from the meetup in Los Angeles. Tune in to their web zone on youtube.com. So I'm really interested to see exactly what happens at 6:30 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, and how that goes. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion about 10KTF. Let me know if you hopped in. Please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.